Good morning, Rabbi Isai. What's your name again?
Stefansky.
Stefansky.
Yeah.
You're from Schweiz.
Yeah.
That's why you say Stefansky.
Yeah.
You're like an original.
Original, yeah.
So your grandfather and my grandfather were...
My father and your grandfather.
Your father?
Yeah.
You're from that generation?
Yeah.
So you're my father's first cousin?
Yeah.
Wow. I don't know if I ever met somebody from that. So my grandfather was a twin. You know, we don't have any twins in my family or my brother's family and the whole. Wow. You have anything to say about my grandfather? You remember him?
No.
You never met him.
No,
my father?
I have met him.
Yeah.
Was in Switzerland.
Was he a tzaddik shtickle? Did your father ski back in the day? They skied in Switzerland?
No, he didn't ski.
No?
I skied.
You skied. I'm saying the older generation. That's what Wow. Your father's one of 10 brothers.
Yes.
And that's why all Stefanskys are related.
That's it.
Gewaldig. Shalom Aleichem. So you actually do my shir, or you're just coming to see what the mishpacha is doing? Every day.
Since 4 years.
And where do you live now?
Basel.
You live in Basel?
Yeah.
So do we have a satellite location in Basel yet? We gotta open up a place over there, no?
I try to do it.
Shkoyach, I'm not going to read that now. Yeah, Shkoyach. Oh, it's about skiing. Shkoyach. Rabbi say very, very big news. No. These are the sponsors for, this is a shock to me. I'm seeing it now for the very first time. Nathan and Kamiansky, $50,000 sponsors for the Shabbaton. Shkoyach, Reb Avi. Platinum, we have Formation. We have Meyer. You got to remember the name. Not Meyer. Meyer Chaya Rivka Fischel, an honor rebelli who dedicates his life to help thousands of Yidden learn Torah every single day. $25,000 towards the Shabbaton. Plus, he gives a lot of money to MDY throughout the year. BRG. Daniel Benedict, another. He's also on our trip. And he also, Shtikum Shpucha, Benedict. And also somebody gives a lot to MDY. Here's the crystals. Anonymous from the UK. Dedicated by Dov and Miriam Farkas from Australia. In honor, he's going to be at the Shabbaton, Dov Farkas. In honor of rebellion, we hope he's going to give us up. Mahanas, he's a famous chazan in Australia. In honor of rebellion, who dedicates his life to help thousands of Yidden learn Torah every single day. Gold, $15,000 by Mark Belsky. Moti Belsky, Shkoyach Reb Moti. What is it? Cheers.com, yeah. Silver, 10,000. Pele Farms, what does it say there? I can't read it. Oh yeah, Farms. RB Della Lighting, something like that. RB Della Lighting, in honor of Kinnovations. Ilan Davidovici, in celebration of Achdus B'nai Yisrael. Howard Saif, Saif, Refuah Shleima, Nisana Yechiel Zev, Ben Libo Dino. And by Adar Global, the one and only Aryeh Simon. And H&G Builders Bronze. Rabbi Isai?
There's another 50 sponsor.
What? Oh, there's another one. Really?
It's anonymous.
There's an anonymous sponsor for $50,000 towards the Shabbaton in honor of all, that's a real anonymous. Yes. In honor of all the MDY wives and mothers that encourage us to do the daf. I don't even know what it is. I myself right now don't know. I'm going to try to dig deeper. It's you? Anyway, so Yishkoyach, the registration is open to sponsors right now. Be'ez Hashem, in a week or two, it's going to be open to the monthly guys, and it's going to be open to the people that came last, maybe together, or the people that came last year. And then, if there are any rooms available, it's going to be open to the tzibur. People contacted me like, Belachatz, like, I need a room. Could you, I'm best friends with you. Could you save me a room? Bemis. MDY Wives, meet and greet, Melava Malka, Motzi Shabbos, 11/22, November 22nd, Congregation Shomer Adas. Last time was Givaldic. They said there's a nice turnout. We want even a bigger turnout. The wives, the MDY Wives, run by one of the main people, or the main person is Nasal Gans's wife. She has no experience in running things, and she's doing a phenomenal job. And the 14-year-old from yesterday, remember I read an email from a 14-year-old? Mm-hmm. This is in Tom's River, Boy Say. As I'm reading the email, somebody chapped it. Here we go. I don't know if I'll show the whole. Oh no, not this one. That's him. Oh, he's giving out Gemaras. Oh, I thought the other one. Okay. Boy, every morning in Williamsburg, satellite location. Check it out in Williamsburg. Beis Hamedrash. You can say the name. Ramshlan. Every day at 7:30. Mazel tov to one of MDY's favorite rabbeim, Reb Moshe Steinberg, on the vart of your son. MDY Chever, go to see him. Hello, my name is Eli Zilber. I listen to your share every day, and I'm only 13, and always makes my day all the way to Boston. I used to waste my time. He did tshuva at the age of 13. He used to waste his time with things, but when I heard about your share, it changed everything. I spent more time doing really productive things. Shout out to Azi Vidon for telling me about it. Thank you so much. Eli Zilber. Hi Rebelli, I'm 13 years old and I started doing the daf, and for some reason I stopped. My friend encouraged me to carry on, and I did. It's so geschmack. Hashem should give you hatzlacha with everything and have a wonderful day. Hatzlacha, Avrumi Isler, Manchester. Kennst them?
Yeah.
How do you know?
Brothers and sisters.
Sister's nephew. Manchester, England. There's a joke here that somebody sent me for Hanukkah. The Chassidim say that after Yom Neraim is Hanukkah. So Chassid asked his Rebbe, how do you see it in the Tefillah on Yom Neraim? So the Rebbe said, Mi b'skila, mi b'chanika. I did a check for something for one of the emails that somebody gave me. Oh, where is it? I lost it already. Oh, here. By Sachar Savitz. Today's shir is the number one best klar, perfectly explained shir in Zevachim, in my opinion. You didn't even start flying out. Rabbi Zai, today is my uncle Jeff Yisrael Avram ben Moshe David Greenblatt's 8th yard site. Yisrael Greenblatt. He was a true chavet to Rebelli. Uncle Jeff he was an unbelievable lawyer and a tremendous balkaira, and I used to go out with him he was not married, and I used to take him to Shallot's in Chicago almost every week. We used to go out. Uncle Jeff would be so proud that his brother-in-law and nephew-in-law learned the daf with Reb Eli every day. Shout out to my father, Moshe Finkelstein, and my husband, David Gold. Attaches a picture of Reb Eli with my uncle Jeff on his shoulders, and Achnasa Sefer Torah that my uncle donated to Reb Eli's brother-in-law's yeshiva in Sivas Aaron. Thank you, Bela Gold. Unbelievable. All right, his neshama should have an aliyah. Oh, this is it.
That's a good email. I want to start off with a 14-year-old.
They're excited. I'm reading the email. That's the bacher.
Every single day. I just want to say that if I can do it
Okay.
at 14 years old, anyone else,
Here we go.
you just push yourself a little more.
Givaldik. The Masechah is sponsored by David Salomon. Dedicated today, they're going to have the thing. Dedicated in memory of Avi Meir of Shmuel Baruch ben Reb Chaim Tzidoiv. Masechah is sponsored anonymous. Lili Lishmas Doidi Shlomi Yehuda Zochron Levarim and Shmuel Chaim Zochron Levacha. Sheshokat V'Lomat Kodshim Kol Chayav. Anonymous. L'Zeich Nishmas Nachum Tzvi ben David. Sponsored by Skybrook Capital in honor of our friends Meir Kovacs, Taki, Baruch Atah Adonai Lehinam L'Chayilam. Shakol Yevid V'Lo. Yonatan Eitan. Shalom Aleichem. Shak in the middle of my bracha. Wow, thanks for coming. And Shamshi Shlavrak, I was like looking over there, that's Shamshi's spot. For the devotion to Torah study in the shir. Joe Gedalius, Lili Nishmas, my father, Jack Gedalius. Anonymous, that's Lochim Baruch Nizu Begashmias. Coil sponsors for the day, Goldman family, in honor of our mother and grandmother, on her first yard side, Lili Nishmas, Esther Miriam, Bas, Yecheskel, Shrager, and Neshom Shadav and Aliyah. Monthly sponsors, Anonymous, Brochad Lidai, Baruch Tzvi Nisim ben Shoshana Leah, Yehuda ben Yom ben Chava, by Tzvi Jacobs, for Refuah Shlema, for Brocha Bat Chana. Daily sponsors, Princey and Alan Gross. Alan's in the house. Our grandmother and young Almana, mother of 3, who sacrificed and opened the first Sherman Shabbos store on 13th Avenue in 1929. Wow. Behind you. Alan Gross's grandmother. What store was it?
It's the housewares.
Housewares. On 13th Avenue, Sherman Shabbos.
Tickets on Sunday. Blue Law.
What?
It's good. A Blue Law then. Couldn't be open on Sunday.
Right.
So they'll open up Sunday and get tickets.
Wow.
Lines.
Wow. Shama should have an aliyah. Just last night, Michael Savdi. The Olam knows Michael Savdi? Yep. Famous. Bitacha. So somebody sent me a clip at like 1:30. It was a big mistake. I opened it and I started watching him. And he said, like, you should get him to come to the Shabbaton. So I don't know if anybody knows Michael Savdi. He doesn't like when you call him Reb, or Michael Savdi. So he was talking about this, that he had a store, he himself had a store that was open in Manhattan. And he became a Shomer Shabbos. He said his whole story. I'm sitting and watching it at 2 a.m. So it was fascinating. Today, he has tens of thousands of people that listen to him every single day. Maybe the largest share in the world. There's 40, 50,000 people like every single day. David and Brenda Pianco and family. Avi, Moria, Rav Yaakov, Bereb Shmuel Yortzeit. Gedalia Miller. Shabbos at Keshen Nafshi, Parshas Chayesara in London. Shti Batzlocha, Lamala Mederech HaTeva, Amen. Daily sponsors, Bela and David Gold, in memory of our uncle Jeff Yisrael Avram ben Moshe David Greenblatt on his 8th yard said, I used to call him Yisrael, never call him Jeff, Yisrael Greenblatt. I used him as a lawyer. He was big Baal Kishrin. Anonymous, Chus, that Hil ben Chana Bela should get married this year. Amen. Anyway, Art, it's interesting. My sister-in-law came over to me. She's like, you see that girl that's doing the hair? I said, yeah, she needs a shidduch. Can you give her a bracha for a shidduch? I said, guys come over to me and said, bracha for a shidduch. Then the girl said, bracha for shidduch. Why don't we just put the two together? So I was at my sister's chas, and then the guy comes over to me and says, could I have a bracha for shidduch? I said, what bracha? Here, let me get you shidduch. I called my sister-in-law out of the. I said, what was that girl's? She said, oh, he looks like a good shidduch. And I saw them schmoozing. I have no idea what they had. Maybe they might have got married already. It was last week. Halavai. It'll be a great ma'isa. Anyway, all right, monthly refuah shleima for Yonatan Eitan ben Basheva. Bracha. Amen. Refuah shleima Mordechai ben Esther. Refuah Sayel Daniel Zev ben Ayel Esther. The boy say, Gewaldige daf today, be'emes, really, really gewaldig. People told me that they love this Masechta. There's people, it's like Yevamis a little bit. We lost a lot of people in Yevamis. I don't know why. I love Zevachim. I think it's going great. We might have had 1 or 2 rocky days, but these sugyas are mamish gewaldig. Like that email that we had yesterday, that you start talking about the Mizbeach and Karbanis in a different way. So let's do a quick chazar on yesterday, okay? If you had trauma from yesterday, so don't watch this, but that's today's shir, rather. So we had in the Mishnah like this. The Mishnah on Daf Nuches Amud Aleph on top says that if you shecht a carbon right here on the top, according to Rabbi Yossi, perfect. Why? So the Gemara says because according to Rabbi Yossi, there's no problem. This whole square, we're not talking about the ramp. The square of the Mizbeach, the 32, was all in the north. It was in the north. If it's in the north, then it's okay. Yeah? It's in the north. Are you with me? I already lost you. You're looking. It's in the tzafon. There's a midpoint in the azara. There's a line, a red dotted line. Here, I'll just show you now. You see the dotted red line, not the other 2 red lines. The other 2, the thick red lines are showing where the door to the heichal are. But the dotted line in the middle, that's the middle point of the Azara. And the Gemara says that the Mizbeach was all in the north. So if it's all in the north, that's where you shecht oilus, in the north. So who cares if it's on top, it's on the bottom, it's good. Comes Rabbi Yochanan says that's Rabbi Yochanan. That Rabbi Yossi actually holds that the Mizbeach is in the north. That's why he holds it on the top. It's okay. And the Gemara says, if that's true, that Rabbi Yossi really holds that, how come we don't see anywhere? Bring a source, bring the raya that he holds that. So the Gemara brought a raya from this, fascinating. I thought it was fascinating. This whole thing, that on the Mizbeach, right over here, there's coals for the Ketores. The smaller Maracha, and Rabbi Yossi is the one that says that you push this 4 amas towards this wall. This is the northern wall. You have to push it 4 amas. Why? Because that's obvious that the coals have to be very, very close to the doorway of the heichal. As you come out of the heichal, you have to be able to grab the coals. And you have to move it 4 amas. So yesterday we went through a whole thing. Why 4? If you think about it, it should really be 27, it should be 6. Where did you come up with the 4? The only way it can make sense 4 is if you put the Mizbeach on top of the dotted line. If you put the Mizbeach below the dotted line, so look how far down the Ketores is going to go. The Ketores, the red little box in the left bottom corner, is going to go all the way down to the side where it says Kuli Batzafin. And that's going to be far away from the door. So it makes a lot of sense. In order to make that red box in the left bottom corner be right with the door with the Eichel, you push the Mizbeach upwards towards the north. And that mamish fits in with Rabbi Yossi. That's what the Gemara said yesterday. Then the Gemara says, no, maybe it's Rabbi Yehuda. Rabbi Yehuda says that the Mizbeach was in the center. This is just, I'm showing you how the Gemara ended off saying, why do you have to push it 4 amas if that's the case? It was perfect. The Gemara says it's just a fact. It's not that you push it 4 amas. It is 4 amas away from anything because you have a base, you have a walkway, you have a horn, and you have the kohanim that walk around, so it's 4 amas away. Okay. Then we had, maybe it goes like Rabbi Yehuda, that the Ketores is actually in the same spot, but let's move the Mizbeach to where it's 16 amas in the north, 16 amas in the south. And it still works. And it's actually 6 amas. We call it 4 because together with the bottom, with the base and the side of it's 6. Fine. Today, we're holding by V'Rav Shrevia Omar, 2 lines from the bottom. It's a new sugya, but it's the same idea and concept as yesterday. Rav Shrevia Omar, Homani, Rabbi Yossi Aglilihi. We thought that Rabbi Yossi in the Mishnah is Rabbi Yossi ben Chalafta. Stam Rabbi Yossi ben Chalafta. That's what Rashi says here on this sugya. I mentioned it yesterday. No. It's a different. Rabbi Yossi Haglili says, and you remember Rabbi Yossi Haglili was young. He came first day in yeshiva. He started arguing with Rabbi Tarfon, Rabbi Kiva. Rabbi Yossi Haglili says that the Mizbeach must be in the north, and I'll prove it to you from something else. Yesterday we were talking about the Ketores, the coals for the Ketores. Today we're talking about the Kiyar. What's the Kiyar? The Kiyar, something like this. It had a base somewhere. It's where, when you go to the Kaisel, you wash your hands and there's like a Kiyar over there. In the Beis HaMikdash they had a Kiyar and the Kohanim would wash their hands and their feet. I once got up on a table here and I showed how you could bend over, put your 2 hands on your 2 feet. That's the Kiyar. First of all, I forgot. We have some very chashuv guests. I have to say Shalom Aleichem. First of all, Shalom Aleichem Yid. You. What's your name? Rav David. From where? Monsey. You watch the shir? You watch the shir? You're a guest. Yishkoyach. Thank you for coming. From Monsey. Who else is he? Oh, you guys. What's your name?
Ariel Bayless.
From?
Miami.
Shalom Aleichem. Thanks for coming. And you? From? London. And that's your brother. What's your brother's name? What's your name? Yossi Deutsch. Shalom Aleichem. Thanks for coming. Who else? We got some other ones? Alan, you're not a guest? Who's hiding? Sometimes you have these. Yesterday a guy was hiding. You're not a guest. He's not a guest. No. If I recognize him, he's not a guest. That means he's here for at least 2 years. All right. So here goes. Rabbi Yisrael. We have a contradiction in the psukim, sort of. Where do you put the kiyar? Rabbi Yisrael, where do you put the kiyar? Let me see. Do I have a decent? No, I don't have my Beis HaMikdash picture here. Chaval. Okay. The kiyar. So let's see if I have it over here. Fine. You see the kiyar? Oops, no, you don't see the kiyar. Here, it's going to pop on the screen now. See the kiyar? That's where the kiyar basically is in all the pictures. It's slightly south of the Mizbeach, downwards. Why? So the Gemara says, one pasuk says, "V'nasatas hakiyar ben oyel moed u'ben hamizbeach." You must place the kiyar between the Mizbeach and the oyel moed. This picture right here is not so great. It's not between what?
It's a little confused because it says on the
Oh, okay, because we're getting there. Yeah, this is not accurate yet. Yeah, it is. Kula b'darim. The Mizbeach is Kula b'darim. It's below the dotted line. The whole Mizbeach is below the dotted line. That's all in the south. I'm talking about that little kiyar. It's hard to see. It's bird's eye view. But on the bottom, next to the southwest corner. Is it the southwest corner? Yeah. Next to the southwest corner, there's a kiyar. But it's not 100% between the Mizbeach and the Heichal. It's like between the Kevesh, between the ramp and the Heichal. It should have been a little bit up. That's what the Gemara is going to be discussing. If you want to go like the Pasuk, it should be between the square of the Mizbeach and the wall of the Heichal, which is to the left on this picture.
What's next door?
That's the water. They used to put it in overnight. They used to put the muchni. Exactly. They used to lower it down into that water. Okay, so that's one pasuk. The other pasuk says ve'eis mizbach. Now on top of Nutetzam Dal. Ve'eis mizbach ha'olah. That the pasuk says mizbach ha'olah. Som Pesach Mishkan Oil Moed, Mizbeach bePesach Oil Moed, Veloikir bePesach Oil Moed. We have another pasuk that tells us that the only thing that can be seen direct view is the Mizbeach to the Heichal. When you open up the door to the Heichal and you look outside the Heichal, what do you see? You see the Mizbeach. You do not see anything else but the Mizbeach. So we have a little bit of problem. So what do you do? Heichal Hayanoi. You pull it a little bit downwards, klapi darim. A little bit like what we just see over here, but it's not perfect yet. You don't want the kiyar to be. So here's the doorway. The giant red strip now. That you cannot block that view. Can't block that view. That's the Gemara. Micah Sovar. Whoa, what's going on? I want to prove again that Rabbi basically holds that the Mizbeach was completely up north. We're going to have to push this at the end of this these few lines over here. We're going to be pushing the Mizbeach to the center, then finally we're going to push them all the way up north to see where we could place the kiyar. Now, step by step. If it's like this picture right here, the Mizbeach is below the dotted line in the southern part of the Azara. What's the problem? Can I push it up here? I'm going to click. Watch this, Rabbi Isai. Why can't I put it in that entire area? How wide is the Mizbeach from the base on the bottom? How many amas is the Mizbeach? 32 amma. We're going to take off for half of the door. It's only one doorway, right? Because half of the door is in the north part of the Azara, and half of the door is 10 amma. Half of the doorway is below the dotted line in the south. So that's 5 amma. So the only thing I have to be concerned about in terms of the Mizbeach seeing the Heichal door is only 5 amma of the Mizbeach. Yes? Mendy, you with me? So I have 27 amma represented in the green square over here that I could play around with. I could put the kiyar anywhere in the 27 in the green box, because it's not going to obscure the view from the Heichal to the Mizbeach. The only view of the Heichal and Mizbeach is the red line. That I'm not obscuring. The red line takes up only 5 amma off of the Mizbeach. The top of the Mizbeach, the northern part of the Mizbeach. That's it. So I have 27 amma to play around with. Why did I put the kiyar all the way down here? Put them in here, in this box over here. So the Gemara says, like we said yesterday, so what's the Gemara going to say now? I can't put it in that box. I don't really have 27 amma. Why? Because the doorway is wider than 10 amma. Perhaps the doorway is 20 amma. Why is it 20 amma? Because I'm not counting the doorway of the Heichal, which is inside. I'm going to count the outer doorway of the Ulam, and that was a 20 amma doorway. Okay, so if it's 20 amma, that means 10 above the north line and 10 below the dotted line in the south. So I'm going to remove another 5 amma off of that green box. I still have 22 amma to play around with. Why can't I put my kiyar in the green box? And it's much better like this. Why? Why is it better, Rabbi Isai? Because it's between the Mizbeach and the Heichal. It's perfect. It's between the square of the Mizbeach and the Heichal. Not all the way down here. Well, I don't like it over here. Over here it's between the ramp and the Heichal. I don't want it between the ramp. I want it between the Mizbeach in the green box. So you tell me the green box is not 27, it's 22. Okay, 22 amma is enough place for me to put the kiyar. Let's see inside. And even if you tell me that the doorway of the ulam is just like the doorway of the heichal, and therefore the doorway is wider, it's 20 amma. And if it's 20 amma, it takes away a little bit more of the mizbeach. The mizbeach has to see the entire red strip that belongs to the mizbeach cannot be obscured by any kli, by anything. It has to be perfect view from the doorway of the ulam on the left, all the way to see the mizbeach and no kiyar. Okay. So I'll lower the kiyar down into the green box, and have 22 amma in the green box, and it'll be much better. It'll be between the mizbeach and the ulam. It should be literally between the ulam, or what we call, the ulam and the mizbeach. Okay. So that's not so great. So let's see what we can do. So the Gemara says, let's push the mizbeach up a little bit. Here we go. And now we lose a lot more room. A lot more room. Why? Because the mizbeach is now north. The dotted line crosses smack in the middle of the mizbeach. So it comes out that the top half of the mizbeach, forget about it. And even from the bottom half of the mizbeach, how much is a half of the mizbeach? 16 amma. 32 divided by 2, 16 amma. So now I have to remove 5 amma from the 16. Why? Because I have a doorway. I can't obscure the doorway. So now I'm left with 11 amma. Okay? So I have a box of 11 amma. So now what's the Gemara going to do? It's not 11 amma. Why? Because the doorway is wider. It might be 20 amma. Okay? So now I'm left with a 6 amma box. But why do I need to push the kiyar lower down? Because so even if you hold that the mizbeach was positioned half and half. Half in the north, half in the south. Maybe the people that have, people from our shir. So it's mamish klar. Hold on a second. Reb Nachum, klar today? Good. Okay.
Does the cure have to be near the mukhni?
Would make sense. How are you going to get it there? It's a mukhni is a crane.
Right, I'm saying,
They didn't have like hydraulic extensions and stuff. It was like one little, I don't know how far. So maybe, so you put the mukhni over there. When you design the Beis you put it next to it. It didn't have to be over there. Right now you see the mukhni far away. I get it, because the artist forgot to move it over. And if you tell me the doorway of the ulam is considered the doorway of the heichal, and therefore the doorway is now 20 amma. And if it's 20 amma, now you have more area that it can't be obscured. The Gemara doesn't say all the amounts, but we have it right over here. It's 6 amma that's left over. What's the problem? 12 feet. In 12 feet, you could put a kiyar, not a problem. Finally, we get to the raya. This is what happens. We're going to push the mizbeach even more. Now, check it out. Do we have any options? Rabbi side? If we put the kiyar between the mizbeach on the southwest corner of the mizbeach, right above the dotted red line, is that a problem?
Yes.
Huge problem. Why?
It's in the middle.
It's Pesach Oyel Mayed. It's blocking the view. So we may have to put it below the dotted line. What's the obvious question? Put it way above the dotted line. Put it between the mizbeach and the ulam on top where there's no door. What? Batzafon, north. That's the Gemara's next question. What's the answer? The answer is there's no kalim whatsoever in that area. You can't put a kli there. That's a pasuk. You can't put any kalim there. So if you can't put any kalim north, and the only area that you have is on the southwest corner, but that's blocking the door. Now you literally have to push it down more south, below the dotted line, where it's not blocking the doorway. Is this blocking the mizbeach? Rabbi said right over here, where it is right now. Is it blocking the doorway?
Yeah.
It's not. It's only blocking the kevesh, and that's not a problem. You could jump onto the mizbeach without a kevesh. The mizbeach is a square. The kevesh is a ladder. How to get off? It's not part of the. It's a mizbeach, but yeah. So it says the Gemara, Kinami mukmis malei mikoyis aleich v'tzafoin havelei ben ulam v'lemizbeach. That's good. You put it over here. The Gemara says it's fine. You put it over here. It's considered between ulam and mizbeach. As the Gemara, v'nukmei mikoyis ulam v'latzafoin. Here, take a look at the kiyar now. Put it over here, where there's no doorway, and now it's seriously between the mizbeach and the ulam, and we're givaldik. In the word tzafayna, you have, if you remove the tzaddik, it's like paina. It's like to remove. She had tzafun panui mekalim. There is a kasov that in the northern part of the Azara, I don't want any kelim. I want it clean. What do they call it today? No. No. You have people that have a certain design in their house. It's minimalistic. Minimalist. No kelim. No furniture. Oh, that's the question right now. Not a question, but the Gemara addresses that. Mantana the Polagale the Rabbi Yosef Galili. And who argues on this that the Mizbeach was in the north? Rabbi Eliezer Yaakov. To answer you, I would say no. The Mizbeach was built into the ground. It's concrete. It's cement with tar, with stones. It's not a kli. It's not going anywhere. Is your house that's also made out of the same materials a kli?
No, in the Mishkan, the Mizbeach was a kli.
In the Mishkan, yeah. Rabbi Eliezer ben Yaakov. The sign of Rabbi Eliezer ben Yaakov Omer Tzofayna she'etzofa miponi mekulam va'afilu min ha-Mizbeach. As Yaakov says, that's considered miklum. It should be empty from everything, from anything. Va'afilu min ha-Mizbeach, do not put a Mizbeach in the north. Rabbi Isai, brand new sugya. If this was, too scary for you, I thought it was give shmak. No, seriously, sometimes a person looks at a picture and he sees these things and he goes, wow, it's going to be complicated. Nah, it's not. Omerav. There's a story in Masechta Sukkah, famous story, where a tzduki was on top of the Mizbeach, right over here, on Sukkos, and in these two holes, you can barely see it on camera, but it's there. You can see it. You're supposed to pour the water, the Nisuch HaMayim on Sukkos, the Zevachim, wine. So on Sukkos you pour the water. So this tzduki gets up there, in front of everybody, high up, and he pours water. He's a kohen, but it's tzduki. He pours water on his feet, like he's mevayish the whole situation. He washes his feet with the water. What does the Gemara say? Famous Gemara. They pelted him with the esrogim. What happened? The esrog chipped, one of the esrogim chipped him his beach. And it became pogrom. The Yerushalmi continues the story and says that they killed him. He died. The tzduki died from the esrogim. No one fixed his son. Aaron said yesterday, it's a raya that they had Teimani esrogim. I said, no, it's a raya that they had Chazanish esrogim, because if they had Teimani, one would kill him. You don't need urgmu kolam. Okay, fine. Akoponim, the Mizbeach became damaged. So now what? Once the Mizbeach is damaged, it's a major problem. Because there's a concept called dachui. When something's pushed off, even for a moment, it's pushed off forever. If you have a carbon that you want to bring it onto the Mizbeach, you shechted it. You want to bring it on the Mizbeach, and they tell you, stop. There's a repair. We have to do a repair now. Take the carbon and throw it out. There's nothing you can do with it. Because even if they repair the Mizbeach, it's a problem. So let's see the Gemara exactly when everything happened there. Omarav, Mizbeach shenivgam. They pelted the Mizbeach, let's say, with the esrogim, and it became damaged. Kol ha-kadoshim shenishchat risham. Anything that was shechted on the Mizbeach, after it became pogum. Now certainly, if it was shechted and then became pogum, let's say you have a shechted animal, you're about to bring it on, the kohen is schlepping it up the ramp, and the kohen says, stop, you can't put it on. No, there's a big dent here. A piece of stone just fell off the Mizbeach. It was shechted, finished. You take it and get rid of it. So says the Gemara, and we have a machlokes here. So first, the Gemara says in Rav. Rav says, after the Mizbeach became pogum, it was shechted. When was it shechted? After the begam. Okay? There was a begam in the Mizbeach, and then they shechted it, and then they realized, you can't shecht. You can't put it on. Okay. We had a pasuk, and we completely forgot what the pasuk is. And now the Gemara is going to find the pasuk in 1 minute. Rav Kahana bumped into Rav Shimon Rebbe. The Kol Amar Mishum Rav Shmuel Rebbe. And he said in the name of Rav Shmuel Rebbe. This case, how do we see it in the Torah? That a Mizbeach that became damaged, anything that you shecht is possible. Shenemar v'zavachta olav v'selusecha v'shlomecha. Is the Torah actually telling me that you should shecht on top over here? That's the makim shchita? On top of the Mizbeach? No way. We said, we had a Mishnah that if you shechter b'diavad, it's okay. Maybe if there's overflow, but the Torah is not going to tell you to shecht on top of the mizbeach, especially with that word from the Ariel diskin that you like so much. The Torah is telling you shecht over here on the bottom, al yerech mizbeach. So what does olav mean? What does it mean on it? We have to understand the word slightly different. Olav means because of it. It means because of the mizbeach you're shechting. In other words, the mizbeach is whole. You have a good, because of a good mizbeach you're shechting. Not if it's damaged. Omar, so Rav Kahana says, Givaldik, Haydu Krodish, Tavan Rav. L'chayra, this is the source that Rav said, I forgot the source, the olav. Okay, I found it. Listen to this. Now we have a Moridik Shaila here. Rabbi Yochanan is adding, if you had a damaged mizbeach and you had a carbon set aside, you had a live oila, he's live, walking around, and there's a damaged mizbeach, so how do you view this live animal that's walking around? Is he dachui? You can't check him right now because you have a damaged mizbeach. But he's alive. And then you repair the mizbeach. So you have a repaired mizbeach and a live animal. And then you shech the animal. Is that considered pushed off or not? Because when he was alive and a carbon, not stam an animal, a carbon animal, dedicated, designated kachim animal, it was designated as oila. You hear the shaila? And you repaired the mizbeach when he was still alive. Is that dachui? You hear the shaila?
Anybody could designate it any time.
Yeah, but if you have a sheep in your farm, and you had a problem with the mizbeach, it was out of service and into service, it makes no difference to your animal because he's not kaddish. I'm saying I put an animal. I said I want to bring this to the mizbeach. I actually show up to the Beis Hamikdash. Let's say show up with my animal.
This is your video. So Rodskin took it to fix it.
No, that was the
I know, but
that was a brand new thing. Yeah, okay. But over there, this Torah is fine. Over here, we're talking about an animal. Let's say, imagine you bring your animal to Beis Hamikdash. You knock on the door. They say, "Sorry, don't shecht it now, because we have a major problem. It's down for repair. There's there's yellow tape all around the mizbeach. You can't go on. The repairmen are there mixing the cement, fixing it. And then you say to yourself, "Oh, the mizbeach is fixed. Now I'm going to shecht it." The problem is, you couldn't shecht it 5 minutes ago. But 5 minutes ago he's alive. Could you push off a live animal or not? That's the whole shayla. That's the machlokes here. Rabbi Yochanan says, since he was alive, you can't push it off.
No, not since. Despite.
What?
Despite he was alive, not since.
Right, despite. Even though he's alive, you still push it off according to Rabbi Yochanan. Even if he was alive when the begam happened, and you fixed it, and now it's good to go, the mizbeach, you cannot shech this guy. All the korbanos in the world that were designated to be korbanos while the mizbeach was down, get rid of them. Hundreds, thousands, I don't know how many people in different houses all over Eretz Yisrael. They have sheep set aside.
Is there a time limit on how long between when you lock them
don't bring people.
Don't designate.
No.
Designate. Taxi goes around the streets.
Yeah. Oh, here, we have a video of that actually. We have two very good, I like the videos a lot. I don't know if the Americans are going to understand the second video, because that has to do with the Tzav Giyus that we have today, but okay. And also, it's hard to see, you have to look at it well. But okay, it says the Gemara, the my pligi, what's machlokes? Rav Savar Balachayim, Einon Nitchim. You cannot push off a live animal. The famous Rabbi Yisrael Salanter is walking in the street, and he sees, late at night, he sees a shoemaker doing repairs in a shop. So he knocks on the door, he says, I don't understand, it's so late at night, why are you working? So he said the famous line, shoemaker. He didn't know what he was saying, but Rabbi Yisrael Salanter took the line and made it famous. He says, as long as the fire is burning, Efshel attack, and you can fix shoes. Rabbi Yisrael Salanter took that as as long as you're alive, you're not nitcha. It doesn't matter what aver you did, you're not nitcha. You could still accomplish. There was a Givaldik mice, I forgot the names, I want to look it up. There was a Hasidic kid, years ago, who was a little mechutz of something to older person, and the guy says, you know who I am? So the kid says, you know who I am? My grandfather is I forgot the Mei Shila, or whatever. So he tells him, you know who I am? I saw the Chayza. So She says, so what? My grandfather is bigger than the chayza. They had a whole fight. Fine. So the kid goes to this grandfather. He tells him the maisa. He says, this person said he saw the chayza. And I told him that you're greater. He says, no. But you should tell him that the chayza is not alive anymore. I'm alive. And if I'm alive, I can be greater than the chayza. Okay, I don't know if it's a chassidish maisa. In other words, koloid, balchayim, fine. Rabbi Yochanan Savar, balchayim nitchin. And Rabbi Yochanan says, it doesn't matter that he's alive. You can push it off. Oh, so let's show the video at least now. Here we go.
Take a look at this. This is the plan. The area is clear.
I got it.
It's a great idea. They're going to damage them as bad. If they damage them as bad, we save their life. You can't check them.
Everyone, stop all your korbanos immediately.
The plan worked. Hello?
Chavet Yetzvot, the Beis HaMikdash. Balchayim Ein Nitchin.
It's a rise. Smoking's not a mum.
Not according to everybody. There's certain people. It might be a treifa. You never know. Says the Gemara. Meisvei, Kol HaKadoshim Shayu Ad Shelo Nivna HaMizbeach. We're talking about in the Beis HaMikdash. If you have a carbon, you designated a carbon, and now you built the second Beis HaMikdash. What do? You designated. Here's the oila, but you didn't have a mizbeach yesterday. Only today the mizbeach came into play. Is that considered nitchanat? It says before in the Brayso psulim. You had a live animal. You designated as oila. There was zero mizbeach, and today you built a mizbeach. It's possible. So what do you see? The Baal Chai is nitcha. Says the Gemara, well, I have another problem. Forget about Baal Chai. Nivna, d'chui mikarninu. He was born pushed off. He was always pushed off, and that's not a dichui. Dichui has to be that he was roi, that he was a good carbon for 5 minutes, and then the mizbeach went down. Over here, there was never a mizbeach before he became kadosh. So it's d'chui mikar. Forget that. Ella. So we have to switch the girsa. We're going to play around with the girsa. Ella, actually, neras mizbeach. What happened was that he was a carbon by the first Beis HaMikdash. He was a carbon before Beis HaMikdash, and then the Beis HaMikdash was destroyed. You hear what happened? Somebody designated him as a carbon. He was ready to go. Then the Goyim came and destroyed the Beis HaMikdash. So he became pushed off. Now the Brayso says when the new Beis HaMikdash is built, 70 years later, you can't use him. Ask the Gemara, whoa, Neras, ha'yizkun lahu. We have a problem. He's old. And so what if you're old? If you're old, it's damaged. It's a mum. Old as a mum. Rabbi Isai, you think it's not over.
Harei zo ola.
This is when he was younger. When he was younger, he was oila. Now he's excited. He's a good oila. He's excited to be an oila. I'm excited. Now he's depressed. They sent him out of there as a zaken. Okay, they turned him down. Who here is 70? You cannot be an oila. Yitzchak, if your father's Avraham Avinu, we wouldn't be able to bring you as an oila.
We're still alive.
Barely.
Who said that? We miss you, Dr. Factor. Don't worry, they didn't hear you. Oh, which reminds me of a joke. Another joke. It reminds me. I remind myself of a joke. A guy comes.
This really burns me up.
A guy comes to the doctor. He says, "Doc, I can't hear out of my ear." He says, "How old are you?" He says, "I'm 73." He says, "You're 73? Oh, that's the pshat. It's from old age." He says, "Old age? My two ears are the same age, and I can't hear out of this one. Why? What's?" Okay. Anyways, weiter. Zok the Gemara. No, we said, "Hello." Actually, nivgam amizbeach, v'achach nivgam. Making a chayzik from our zikneya. Rabbi Schoenberg, you heard what was going on here? The back and the forth. Young 70-year-olds. You're mamish young. How old are you? Don't tell us. You want to tell us? Yeah.
Nearly 79.
No way. MS? Give me a Stefansky grip. Oh. What, was your father a giver? He was okay. So Zok the Gemara. 79. Rabbi say, wow. So says the Gemara. So there's Dakon, Elo actually Nivgam Mizbeach, so we have to change the gears again. Actually, Nivgam Mizbeach, Nivgam Mizbeach Psulim. We're not talking about the first bias, the second bias. We're talking about that somebody designated a carbon, and then the Mizbeach was damaged, so it's possible. And that goes according to Rabbi Yochanan, that even if you're alive, the animal's alive, and there's a pgam, and then you repaired it, it's still possible. It's a kash on Rav. Says the Gemara, it's not a kasha. But like Terutza Kommentator says, you're talking about a damaged brisa basically. It's a brisa that you try to fix already 3 times. So you fix it again. But after Terutza Kommentator says, you're putting in different words, different things. First you thought it's talking about the first base, the second base. Okay, should just fix it and say, like Rav, that we're talking about this animal wasn't alive, he's dead. As Gemara Rav Gidon Rav, Mizbeach Shenekar, the inner Mizbeach. Here, this Mizbeach right over here, the Mizbeach HaKtoris, the Mizbeach HaZav, let's say this is where it is in the Beis HaMikdash. You put the Ktoris on top. Says the Gemara, if you remove it from here, you could put the Ktoris right on the ground. So says the Gemara, whoa, if you could put the Ktoris on the ground, so then there's no Dichu over here. Just anytime, the same thing will apply to the larger Mizbeach. Why tell me it's pushed off? If the Mizbeach is damaged, move the Mizbeach away, and checked it right over there where Mizbeach used to be. It's not dachu. It's not pushed off. I have a way to shecht it on the ground. Here, just like the Ketores. Says Gemara. I could put the Ketores right there on the ground. I don't need a Mizbeach. So to the outer one. Says Gemara. No, it's not true. The outer one is different. The outer one, you need to sprinkle the blood. And sprinkling blood, you need the actual Mizbeach. You can't do it on the ground, like Rabbi Yehuda says. Rabbi Yehuda says to sprinkle blood is different. So says Gemara, my Rabbi Yehuda. Who's this Rabbi Yehuda? So now we have a fascinating sugya. Again, Bemes, fascinating. Shlomo HaMelech took not only his Mizbeach, but all the area around it. He used Mekadesh it, so you could shecht carbon, you could do all the avodah, everything. You could be makriv of the carbon, burn it up on the ground, on the floor of the Azara, all the way around. The question is, why did Shlomo HaMelech have to do that? Why did he need more room? Says the Gemara, why? Because the Mizbech of Moshe Rabbeinu was very small, and I'm going to explain everything. The Mizbech that we had until now is small. So says the Gemara, Dvarim tichsavim divrei Rabbi Yehuda. Rabbi Yehuda says, Mamish pshutik mashmai. The mizbech was too small. I needed more area on the ground. Says the Gemara, and the Gemara explains. Oh, but Rabbi Yossi, you don't want to leave now because this is so gishmak. Daf Nuntes on the base. V'aloy kfar ne'emar. Elef oilois yalish shleim al mizbechu. Take a look at this gishmak. How big was Moshe Rabbeinu's mizbech? It was 5 amma by 5 amma. How much is the area that you could put a carbon on a 5 amma by 5 amma mizbeach? Rabbi Yisai, the little tiny box in the center, which is 1 amma on 1 amma. Why? Very simple. You can't shecht. You can't be makter where the horns are. So take off everything around that 1 amma. What are you left with? The blue box in the middle. The blue box in the middle, you can't do anything there either. Why? Because that's where the kohen has to walk. What am I left with? A square in the middle. Lucky us, it's the number 1. So we know how to do math with 1. On that 1 amma, Moshe Rabbeinu shechted 1,000 korbanos. So on every amma, you could shecht 1,000 korbanos. How many? Shlomo shechted on that one, but he didn't have enough room. Later on he shechted how many? Let's see the pasuk here for a second. Vayizbach Shlomo Zevach HaShlomim Asher Zevach Hashem Esrim U'Shnayim Elef 22,000 plus V'tzoyin Me'av Esrim Elef 120,000 plus 22,000. How much is that? 142. Shlomo HaMelech's 1,000. 142,000 korbanos. Shlomo HaMelech's mizbech was how big? Avi, I need you for this one. The area for that krava was 20 by 20. How much is 20 times 20? 400. On every amma I could shecht 1,000 animals. So how many animals can I shecht on 400 ammas? 400,000. How come you guys are so good at math? Huh? We didn't go to Panovich, huh? Again. On 1 amma I could shecht 1,000 animals. On 1 amma 1,000. So how many can I shecht on 400 ammas, Rabbi Isai? 400 times 1,000 is how much? 400,000. Givaldi, you guys are good. So the question is, if that's the case, why did Shlomo HaMelech have to make the entire Azara ready to be Makti Korbanos? It had a super fire. This fire over here was from the Shemayim. It wasn't a regular fire. As soon as he put an animal, it evaporated in a second. It what? Incinerated in a second. So you can put 1,000 out. You put 400,000 animals. Just throw it on. Whatever you put on, it goes. It eats it. So why does Shlomo HaMelech have to make the entire Azara available to be makter?
It was left over because that they get usually destroyed by the fire.
But why so much? V'ilu b'beis Elohim here. Now the Gemara just says, let's just do it real quickly. V'ilu b'beis Elohim mo'imer v'yizbach 1 minute. Look what time it is. It's 8:08 already. V'ilu b'beis Elohim mo'imer v'yizbach shloim zevach hashlomim asher zovach l'Hashem bokor 22 el. B'kitzur 142,000 like we saw. U'k'shta migel cheshbon oilois u'lemiyan amois. Zeh godom zeh. It's interesting lashon of the Gemara, but I just told you the whole cheshbon. If Moshe Rabbeinu's mizbeach was able to consume 1,000 animals on 1 amma, so zeh godom zeh, so certainly 400 ammas could do it. So what was the problem? Elamau kadam al-chil. So what does it mean that it's small? It can't. It was too small. Shlomo HaMelech's new mizbeach, Moshe Rabbeinu's mizbeach was too small. In English, in America today, you say vertically challenged. You can't say the word nanos. Midget. It's not a nice word. But the Gemara says it's not nice to tell a kohen you're puzzle. You don't tell him you're puzzle because you're vertically challenged. You tell him nanos. You say no. Sorry. You don't say puzzle. You say you're a vertically challenged person. Sorry, you can't work here. You don't say. You use the lashon akiyah. So Mela, hold on. Yeah, taka. So Mela also by the mizbech, you don't want to say, Moshe Rabbeinu's mizbech is gone. It's a goner. You say, it's a little too small for us right now. It's a lashon naki, but not because it's really small. It could have burnt it up. Sponsor to the daf by a direct global leadership Meir Meisels, Lishmas reviewed the Doiv and Rabbi Yisrael. And Adam says chus for Atzlach and Ruchnis and Gashmis. Judah Lishev and Bat Yishlesinger for Atzlach and Simcha for Yol Yudah ben Dvorah Lishev Miriam Baschan and Bat Yabas Lishev Miriam. We'll just do a few more lines. Rabbi Yehuda, Shapir Kama Rabbi Yossi. Rabbi Yossi has a good time over here. Rabbi Yehuda Tamei, Domer Mizbech, Shasa Moshe Godolaya. Let's just do this math. You made a mistake. Moshe Rabbeinu's Mizbech is not 5. It's 5 to the center. If it's 5 to the center, how large is the Mizbech? It's also very easy numbers here. If for 5 to the center, how much is it total from side to side? 5. No, 5 to the center, and from the center to the side, 5 plus 5 is how much, Rabbi say? Givaldik. Your mom is good in math. Hold on. This is the mizbeach. From the center, it's 5. Here, take a line to the center to 5. In other words, it's 10 by 10. So let's do the math all over again. If it's 10 by 10, you cannot use the outer perimeter. Why? Because that's where the horns are. You can't use one more amma, because that's where the kohanim walk. So how many amas are left in the middle? Rabbi, this is going to trick everybody. How many amas are you left in the middle? Rabbi, say how many?
3 by 3.
8. Because you take off 2. Ari doesn't know math. He said 6. Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right. Of course. He's right. I'm hacking. I know. I just want to confuse them. I said everybody's going to get it wrong because most people say 8. you take off 2, but you have to take off 2 from both sides. The Karen goes all the way around, and the Kohanim go all the way around. So it's take off 2. So when you take off, Rabbi, I see you guys are very good at math. So you take off 4 amas out of 10. So how much are you left with? 6. So the middle square is how much? 6 by 6. Did he do the whole thing here? Yeah, you take off that, plus you take off that. So you're left with 6 squares in the middle. 6 by 6. How much is 6 by 6? 6 times 6 is how many? 36. How many times does 36 go into 400? 400 divided by 30. Very simple. 10 times 36 is how much? 360. So we're almost there. You add one more, it's 11. So 36 goes into 400 11 times. So let's do the math again. Moshe Rabbeinu's Mizbeach is able to shech 1,000 korbanos on 1 amma. How much is 1,000 times 11? Think about it. How is 1,000 times 11? 11,000. We got a genius here in math. One guy here from the whole room. 11,000. So all Shlomo HaMelech could shecht on his Mizbeach is 11,000. Because his Mizbeach was 400 amas, 20 by 20, it's 400 amas. 36 into 400 is only 11. Shlomo HaMelech had capacity for 11 times the amount of Moshe Rabbeinu. And Moshe Rabbeinu could only shecht 1,000, so he could shecht 11,000. How many did he end up shechting? 142,000. It's a little bit more than 11,000. So that's why he had to make the entire Azara Kadosh.
Except for one problem. Moshe Rabbeinu's Mizbeach was tiny, so only had that 1 amma around to walk. Here, who says he had to walk around the outer?
They do. Here, look. This Mizbeach also has an outer.
I know, but he could walk around the actual...
He did.
No, he could have gone in the middle of it, so he had more space.
The kids, that's where they walked. They made a special pathway that you couldn't be macro there. Okay. Review the Shapir Kama. We started in Mincha time. Review the Shapir Kama. Are we over an hour already? Dvarim kichsavim dir b'yotzim. Yudoimer nemakan revua v'nemer la'alam revua mala alom imtiasi hoya moeded afkan imtiasi hoya moeded. In other words, you get a 6 by 6 square, which is 36, and we did the math. Rabbi Say, have a wonderful day.
Merit the schus of spreading Torah throughout the world. Sponsor a shir today. MDYsponsor.com or sponsor at MDYDaf.com.